So when I moved back to Toronto, to the big city, I had some friends that were able to help me, to put me up in their place. And they were in this popular rock band at the time, and I started to get interviews on the local radio stations concerning my poetry. And I felt like indeed I was truly getting somewhere. I didn't need God. I didn't need the church. I didn't need to be a Christian. The church hurt me, but here I was with these people who were more or less agnostic. They were atheists. And I said, I don't need God. I'm doing it anyway. And I felt like I was getting somewhere. But little did I know I would be slowly sucked into the world of bikers and cocaine. I would, with my friends, I would open up these booze cans, these after hours bars. We would have these parties, and record label reps and managers of bands would show up at these parties, and other band members. These were famous people. I don't care to mention their names now and give out that kind of information. But I was walking this line of an artist who had money because of providing party tokens, let's call it that. Whatever they wanted, I was able to provide along with my friends. And we were able to get in places that the bikers couldn't get into, or they could get into them, but they weren't welcome. So we went to these artsy places and we provided whatever they needed for their party. You can read between the lines. Now that life could have brought me to 10 years in prison. At the time, that's what you would get. And somehow, this entire period of time, God protected me and kept me safe. But I was a real mess. I remember taking the scales and the cocaine and crawling on my belly in the backyard and burying it in the backyard. When my friends and I finally wanted to get out of this criminal life that we had found ourselves in. We just wanted to make some extra money and meet chicks and meet these rock stars and be able to, party with them and provide everything for them, and make some money on the side so we could help pay our bills. But we got so sucked into this criminal life. I remember this one time with this Colombian in his apartment. He brought out a hockey bag full of cocaine. I mean, like a huge piece of ice, like a small little chunk of an iceberg inside of his hockey bag. And he hit that with a sledgehammer, and poof, a dust cloud, started billowing through the room. And, we did this cocaine with him. I could hardly feel my face and my body. And while we were in this state, my gang and I, while we were in this state, he then handed us guns. He said, "Here you go. These are for you. You can work for me now. You don't have to work for them." You know what I mean? I can hook you up. Don't worry, man. I got the stuff. And my friend and I, at that particular moment, we had to make a decision. Are we going down that road? Are we going to end up, dead or in prison? Is this what we want? Do we want to become actual bona fide criminals? And at that moment, we made a decision. We were like, no, this is not for me, man. I just wanted to make some extra money. Little did we know that individual was being watched by the police. How did we, I don't even know, but maybe even he was being used by the police to even have us arrested or have us bring our contacts in. Who knows? We were being set up. But somehow we had a sense, and my friends, they were raised also in the church by parents who believed in God, so maybe there was a hedge of protection around us, even though we were living in unbelievable sin and very well could have died at any moment, whether from overdose or somebody just, shooting us or whatever, killing us. So luckily, We took the scales, we took everything, we got rid of it. We paid the bikers what we owed, and we got out. And it was a miracle. That's a miracle in itself. That's a miracle in itself, to even get out from underneath the bondage of a criminal life. Like I was just a petty drug dealer, but still, you can do time for that. And we owed money, we paid our money, we got out, we started trying to, turn the page on that life. We got out of the neighborhood and we started just working on music again and writing poetry. Of course, we still drank. I still smoked marijuana every day. And then one fine morning, I got this feeling, hey, why don't I play my drum again? Why don't I go out onto the street corner and busk like I used to do? I used to play music on the street. Sometimes they would throw me some coins. I could take that money and maybe I would get something to eat at the restaurant. But it was a way to meet people, and why don't I go out and do that again?